welcome to this episode of Bringing Back the Smile with myself, Dave Sheahan, high performance consultant. And for over 25 years now, my life has been dedicated to educating, motivating, and I hope inspiring people to lead their best lives, to become their best selves, to turn their dreams into reality. And what's most important is happiness, that they attain happiness, whatever that may mean to them. And that's where Bringing Back the Smile was born, a show that I hope will counteract a lot of the crap that's out there in the general media, which is so consumed with negativity, which just puts out there negativity, which doesn't help people in any way in terms of raising their emotions, raising their vibrations, improving their mindset, improving their thought process, pushing them on, support them towards their goals and towards what they want to achieve out of life. Because the bottom line is, we can all achieve whatever we want in life. We can all be whoever we want to be in life. We can have whatever we want to have in life. But the bottom line is happiness. Happiness is what matters. This is the first episode of Bring Back the Smile of this year, and I'm looking forward to doing a few new exciting things with the show from what we did last year. And I'll share some of them with you during the course of this particular episode, because I want to get you more and more engaged during this year. Because, you know, while we got incredible feedback about Bringing Back the Smile last year and people found huge benefit in it, I want to make sure that this year we get a lot more guests, we get a lot more, specific entertainment. I will continue to share what I hope will be valuable information to you, uplifting information, stuff that will give you the tools and strategies to take you to the next level and where you want to be. But I also want you to get engaged. I want us to do even like live mini coaching sessions. I want you to be commenting throughout the show on the live broadcast, and I can basically help you live, answer your questions, go through your feedback, reply to your comments, discuss with you something that you might bring up in the comments. So, there's a lot that I want to do. I want to do a lot of announcements as well of things that are coming up. It could be birthdays, celebrations, anniversaries, achievements. And I don't care if it's for a 3-4-year-old kid or somebody who's 95. Everyone deserves to be celebrated. Credit should always be given where it's due. And it's these kind of things that are going to always be a bit uplifting. So I want you to join me in Bringing Back the Smile a really powerful show this year, even more powerful than it was last year, when, like I said, it was great. Got a lot of feedback. I'm very happy how it went, but I want this year to be a whole different level, because the bottom line is this world is so consumed with negativity. This media across the world, general media, mainstream media, is consumed with negativity. That's all they push. That's all you hear about. When did you last hear a positive news story? It is so rare, whether it be newspapers, radio, or TV, online TV, any of these different things. Negativity sells. Negativity is pushed out there everywhere. And unfortunately, the masses enjoy negativity, it seems. But we need to reverse that. We need to change that. We need to raise our vibrations, because if you want to achieve anything in life, if you want to become anything, if you want to become the best you can be, if you want to turn your vision that you have for your life into a reality, you need to raise your vibration. You need to operate at a totally different level. You need to operate at a level that makes you feel like on a natural high. You need to feel good. You need to feel uplifted, because when you don't feel positive emotions, it's very hard for you to actually muster the energy and motivation to do the right things, to do what you need to do to move in the right direction. Look, we all have goals and dreams, every single one of us. Like, you have goals and dreams. There's things you want to achieve. There's things you haven't done yet in your life. There's things you wish you had done in your life. I want Bringing Back the Smile to be a spark for you. I want something in this show each week to be a little spark that just gets you going or keeps you going, one or the other. Because for some of you may have, up to this point, not really done much with your lives for one reason or another. Others may have been very stop-start. Others, you might be motoring and doing a lot and really taking action, but there's always more gears. There's always a higher gear to go to. So I want to, again, Bring Back the Smile to help you along that road. Now, there's two things I want to stress to you. One is that there's only one fear to have in life, and that fear is regret. It's the only thing to fear. You should fear regret more than anything, because regret is something that, when you get to the end of your days, you will be consumed with if you haven't lived life fully, if you haven't loved fully, if you haven't had the experiences you wanted, if you didn't turn some or all of your life vision into reality. If you are able to look back and see, oh, I decided not to, I let fear hold me back, I let other people's opinions hold me back, you're going to regret that. You need to do you. We are all different. We are all unique. You're a unique individual. You have unique ideas, you have unique beliefs, you have unique values, you have a unique vision. You need to make that vision a reality, regardless of what anyone thinks. Like, what is actually a true superpower is not caring what anybody thinks. And I hope, again, Bring Back the Smile, that would be one of the the benefits of you listening regularly is that it will start to make you not care about what other people think. Because when you don't care what other people think, it truly is like a superpower in that you will do what's right for you. You will tune into your own gut. You will be as authentic as you can be. You will take the steps to lead the best life that you can lead. And, the other thing I wanted to say to you was, and stress to you and emphasize, is that to lead your best life, to be the best you can be, to have the best life experience, you need to make sure that the foundation of mind-body health is at a high level, that you have control over. Because when you have control of your mind, body, and health, anything is possible. Literally anything. When you don't have control of your mind, body, and health, you're very limited. So I like to say you're limited by your thinking. So if you have a mindset that's mainly veering all of this towards the negative, it's going to be very hard for you to achieve anything, because you're always going to think about things things to be fearful of. You make excuses, you play the blame game, you do the poor me game, you justify, inaction by excuses. That's where your mind's going to go. You're always going to have your emotional state torn down very easily if you're not in control of your mindset. So I can't stress enough to you, mindset, thought process, your psychology, the way you process things, your perception of things, they're so important. And it's really important you get to a stage where you're in a positive state with that. But mind, body, health, like how we think about ourselves, our self-confidence, our self-image, our self-esteem, all these things are crucial in you becoming the best you that you can be and having the best life experience you can, because without them, you won't. I can guarantee you, if you don't have control of mind, body, and health, you will achieve far less in your life and experience far less in your life than you potentially could have. And this is the power that we have. This is a good thing. You actually have the power to do whatever you want in your life. You have the power to have an incredible positive mental attitude. You have the power to have the body that you want to have in terms of the shape. You have the power to have optimal health and experience all of those with that in terms of energy, incredible brain function, focus, memory, concentration, all these different things. You have the power for all of this, experience all of this. It's up to you. This is why I stress to people all the time that it's up to each one of us individually to take personal responsibility for our lives, to take personal responsibility for our health and well-being, for what way our relationships are, what way our health is, what way our finances are, what way our professional life is, what way in our every aspect of our life is. We have to take personal responsibility, because it's a choice. Every single day you make choices. Every single day, hundreds of thousands of times you are making choices. What thoughts you're going to listen to, what thoughts you'll act on, how you react to people or things or situations, what you do next, what you choose between two options. You are doing that every single day. You choose where to get up out of bed or not. You choose where to brush your teeth or not. You choose whether to eat or not, what to eat. You choose where to exercise or not. You choose what you do at work. You choose how much of it you do. You choose whether you go for your dreams, you don't go for your dreams. You choose whether you let fear stop you doing things or whether you just feel the fear and do it anyway. You choose these things. This is why there is no excuse. Everything in life you have to take personal responsibility for. And again, this is another important thing. If you want to, again, have that smile, bring back the smile, feel uplifted, feel good in your life, because we all can have that. Every one of us can experience happiness. But what's important, again, is that you take control of the aspects of your life that matter most. And I can't stress enough to you how the mind, body, health area of your life and the level of control you have will determine everything. It will truly determine everything. So it's so important that you get focused on how can I improve my mind, body, and health. And on this particular episode, I am going to give you a lot of tips. I'm going to hopefully educate you in a few aspects of it that will help you to move forward. One thing I want to stress to you is another few things to stress to you. Happiness. What is happiness? Well, the thing is, you have your perception of happiness, I have my perception of happiness. And you need to focus on that. Because what happens far too many people is they're focused on societal conditioning, perception of happiness. Society tells you what happiness is. People are moving towards that all the time. So they're not focused on their own happiness, what they believe truly in their gut, in their own intuition, them as a unique individual. They're not focused on the happiness or what means happiness to that person. They're focused on what means happiness to other people, more so than themselves. And this is a terrible situation to be in. Like, society puts out that the happiness pretty much is having a big house, having a big car, having 2 or 3 cars even, having loads of money in the bank, having a successful career, whatever that may be. Certain jobs get certain prestige over other things, but that's the only way it needs to be. having a family, in that family have at least 2 kids, going on holidays a couple of times a year, having a nice expensive watch, having nice things. Supposedly that's what success is, but that isn't what success is, not to everybody. To some people, yes, but it depends on what your highest values are. We all have highest values, we all have beliefs, we all have things that we want to do in our life. And it's very important you tune into what is that for you? What are your actual values? To some people, they truly, genuinely have money at the bottom of their list of values. Now, there's a lot of issues around money that many people have, and subconscious beliefs, and stuff from the past that's holding them back, and money issues and money mindset issues. But take that away. For some people, money is not important. Being the best parent they can be, being the best son or daughter they can be, making a difference in the world, helping those less privileged than themselves. That's why you have some people who dedicate their entire life to the service of others. You see people in Africa and underdeveloped parts of the world, helping people who are starving, helping people who are illiterate, helping to educate people, show them how to do some basic things, being there for them, raising money for computers, even all this kind of stuff. There's people who genuinely give up themselves, for the homeless, for the starving, for so on. And that is a high value to them. That is what gives them satisfaction in life. Money may not be a big deal to them. How good their clothes are isn't a big deal to them. If that's truly their highest value, that's cool. Now, there's some people who will say that money doesn't matter to them, but like I said, a lot of them it could be money issues, money mindset issues. And that's different. That needs to be tackled, because it's like money needs to have a value of some sort in your life at whatever level it's at. But my main point with this would be is for most people, money is not their highest value. Power, fame, all these things are not the highest value. But because society tells you that this is what will get you accepted, this is what will make you popular, this is what will put you on a pedestal, most people are striving for that. And the fact that you're on that journey, striving towards this, what is an impossible dream really for most people, in that the bar is up here and you're down here and you're trying to get up to this bar, and the bar keeps raising as well, because society keeps raising that bar all the time as to what you're supposed to be, who you're meant to be, what you're meant to have, what you're meant to experience, all that kind of stuff, what status means. So it's very important you pull yourself away from societal conditioning, what happiness means, and really tune into you, the person. Who are you? What does happiness mean to you? Because that is all that matters. Nothing else matters. And it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. Whatever your highest value is and whatever happiness means to you, that is what you need to be striving towards all the time. So get really focused on it and take time to think about it. Like right now, as I'm speaking to you, you should have a few ideas and a few thoughts around happiness and what it means to you. What does it mean to you? It's the most important question you can ask yourself, or that I can ask you. What truly does happiness mean to you? If you are happy, whether you've been there before and you just lost your way, or whether you've never really been truly happy, what actually does it mean to you? What's your happy place? Where and when have you felt your happiness? When you felt most at peace? Because when you feel truly happy, you feel at peace. I think at times, especially when people most get close to this, let's say when you're in love. So think of a time you felt you were in love. Think how you felt. It's like that could be with a partner, or it could be with your just born child. Where you can't help but love that amazing, being that has just arrived into the world. It's unbridled love, like nothing else matters. You're 100% present in that moment, and the way you feel is something that you cannot even describe. It's undescribable or indescribable. I know myself from my own son when he was born. I'm sure for every parent, that moment is it's magical. But think, as I said, the time when you felt you were truly in love, nothing else matters. You're at an elevated level. You're operating at such a high vibration. Nothing else matters. You feel you're invincible. So anything that you do actually put your hand to, you will do well at, because negative thoughts not consuming you. Poor me isn't consuming you. Excuses and blame game aren't consuming you. So it's getting that point, and this is why it's important for you to move to what's true happiness to you. And if you're not there right now, take steps towards it. We all can have it. We all deserve it. But you only deserve it if you take the action to get there. Okay? If you don't take the action to get there, you're not going to get there. That's the guarantee. So like I said, what's happiness? What does happiness mean to you? I can't ask you a more important question. And with clients and followers and so on, I always, speak to them about happiness and moving towards it. I mention it a lot in my social media posts. I do every single day in my emails, subscribers, and so on. Happiness is what we need to be striving towards. Not about how much money you're going to earn, not how much status you're going to get, or fame, or notoriety or any of that kind of stuff. Happiness. What will bring you more happiness? And like I said, for some people, it can be something really massive. For others, it can be something that's relatively small and very attainable. And we need to start pulling things back, because the other thing is people can be happy with so little. We don't need that much. And that's against societal conditioning, making us think that we need so much stuff. And we need to be seen as a certain type of person, when in reality, no, we don't. Be authentic to yourself. 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years ago, people were far happier. More people were far happier, because what they had, they were happy with. They didn't need more. Whereas nowadays, people are mainly focused on what they don't have. But what about what you do have? Why are we so focused on what we don't have all the time? And when you look around, look at yourself, look at your kids, look at other people's kids, look at the society in general. Look how much people have. It's not that long ago that people were walking everywhere, cycling everywhere, or like in a horse and cart. Now, how many people are in cars? How many people even have 2 cars in a household? So like, people have so much more than before. Look at the amount of food people have. Look at all the appliances for convenience people have. Look at the close vicinity people have to all types of shops and amenities and services and everything you could want. But people are still not happy. Why? Because they're still striving for more, because they're being told they need more, they should have more. When the reality is, no, you don't. You need very, very little. And you need to get focused on that. And this is such an important point in the world that we live in right now, which is for me, it's escalating out of all control. People are totally losing their mind in the way they're feeling, what they're expecting of themselves, what they think they should be aiming for. When if they separate themselves from all of that and truly just zone into what actually makes me happy, or would make me happy, or has made me happy before, and then focus on that and then go for it. That's all that matters. That's why I asked you the question. What does happiness mean to you? Answer that question. It's so important you answer that question, and so important you get very clear on the answer to that question, because if you don't, it's going to be impossible for you to ever reach that point of actual happiness. So reflect on your life up to this point. Identify times when you did truly feel happy. Also think ahead to what you really would like to experience in your life, because things change over time too. Like your perception of happiness 20 years ago would be very different to today, because we should be evolving as people all the time, evolving to better versions of ourselves, growing every single day, learning life lessons. That's what should be happening. So, really zone into this, really zone into ask yourself that question, really zone into identifying what it is. And all that's required after that is action. So you've got the goal, you've got what you want to achieve and bring into your life. Then what are the action steps to get there? And most important, what's next? What's the next action step? That's all that actually matters. What's the next action step? Not looking for so many big hacks, not looking for so many blueprints, looking for magic, secret formulas, quick fixes. They don't exist. There is no such thing. It's about putting in the work. Whatever it is you're trying to achieve, putting in the work and doing it consistently. Being consistent is the biggest thing. And it's the thing that most people fall down on. They're not consistent in anything that they do. And then they're worried about, or they're moaning about why they're not getting where they want to get to. If you don't put the work in, how do you expect it to come back? Now, how do you expect it, for instance, to be in a better body if you still continue to eat takeaways all the time? If you continue to sit down slobbing and watching soap operas and reality TV instead of doing some exercise that you could even do watching them? If you're living behind and hiding behind excuses and blame gaming, poor justification of inaction, you've only yourself to blame, no one else. This is why I stress all the time about taking personal responsibility. Because there is nothing more important, there is nothing more valuable to you. Because again, when you get to that point where you truly take personal responsibility for all aspects of your life and all experiences of your life, it is so powerful and it will have such a profound impact on your life. So I want you to take time to answer that question, answer it properly, answer it adequately, answer it clearly, and then become very focused on it. And every day from now on, I want you to be focused on doing things that will move you closer to your own perception and definition of happiness. I can't stress something anymore to you. It is literally the crux of life. It is the crux of what you want. Remember what I said a while ago? Live in fear of one thing. Only one thing, regret. It is truly the only thing that you should be afraid of in life. Only thing. More so than death, more so than public speaking, two things that people usually say when they're asked what do they fear most. Regret. It's crippling. It's demoralizing. It destroys you psychologically. Because the thing is, you know that you could have made different choices. You know you could have made better choices. You know you should have, but you didn't. So fear, regret, always. Okay? Now I want to go back to what I stressed a while ago, in that the most important thing for you in achieving happiness and self-confidence and positive self-esteem and self-image is having control of the mind, body, health area of your life. Like, I can guarantee you that without control of this area, you can't achieve happiness anyway. Because happiness has to come from within. You know, you have to feel good within yourself. You have to feel happy within yourself. If you don't love yourself, then you can't feel that happiness. So it's a huge, huge area that far too many people are not focused on. Also, it's a huge area so many people are confused about, because there's so much information out there, so much conflicting information. And it's very confusing for people as to what they should be doing and what they shouldn't be doing. So, you know, I've dedicated over 25 years now to clarifying this for thousands of people all over the world, from different backgrounds, different demographics, different goals, different limitations, and so on. And the bottom line is, if you do the right things, you're going to get the results that you desire. Because it's like anything in life, you put the work in, you get the results back. You know, it all depends what you put into it. So let's start with mindset. Like I spoke a little earlier about thoughts and your thought process and how important it is. The key thing I have to ask you is, you know, what do you actually consume every day? What are you consuming into your mind and your brain? And what do you listen to every day? What do you watch every day? What do you read every day? These three things. And who do you listen to every day? Whether it be indirectly or directly. Those four things determine what your mind is. And your mind is the control tower. Like, the level of control you have over your mind and your overall thought process ultimately determines what your life looks like. Ultimately determines the level of success you have. Ultimately determines the level of happiness you have and how fulfilling your life is. This is why getting control of your mind is absolutely crucial. You need to put the time into it. You need to work hard at it. You need to make sure that you're doing it. Because if you're not, then I can guarantee you again, you're not going to have a happy life. You just can't. You have to watch what you're feeding your mind. So if you're feeding your mind mainstream media, feeding your mind newspaper articles, if you're feeding your mind radio shows, I can guarantee you 99.9% of what you're consuming is negativity. Negativity. Negative stories, fear-mongering, you know, manipulation of truth, all for the purpose of fear-mongering, hysteria, and putting out there as if the world is so bad and all people are so bad for the most part. So you have to constantly be living in fear and constantly be watching yourself. And don't take risks, don't take chances, stuff like that. Now, what kind of life is that to lead? To me, that's not living. It's not living at all. It's how most people are living. But this is what happens when that's what consumes your mind. This is what most people are feeding their mind. So if you feed your mind all that kind of negativity, how can you expect to react and act positively? It's just not possible. You can't do both. You know, if you have negativity flooding into your mind every single day, and that's consuming your mind, you're going to react negatively to situations. You're going to feel negative about situations. You're going to feel low and down more often than not, because that's that's like the environment you're creating in your mind. You're creating an environment that's so negative and toxic. But the thing to remember is that you have the power to change that. You're the only one who can change that. So one of the most important things that I could tell you to do is to get rid of your TV. Get rid of it. Just give it away to someone. Sell it. Hide it in the basement or up in the attic if you need to. stop consuming it. Now, if you want to use it for watching stuff that's uplifting, whether it be like on smart TV using YouTube or Netflix documentaries or things like that, that's cool. That's useful. But I mean, like totally eliminate the exposure to mainstream media in particular and other things that are on TV. 18 again, is sides with negativity. It's in sides with fear, negative emotions. All these things are of no use to you. They do not help you. They will not help you to create a positive mindset, a positive mental attitude. It will actually do the total opposite. So it's very important for you to limit your exposure to this. And like I said, the most important thing is for you to turn off your TV from consuming these things. Same with your radio, same with newspapers. It's absolute garbage. It's not going to help you. It's going to do the complete opposite. So make sure, again, you're limiting your exposure to it. I can't stress that enough to you. Look at the people in your life as well. And people who don't necessarily add anything to it. They don't really uplift you. They don't add any positivity. They don't support you. They don't champion you. They're not interested in how you're getting on. Those people are of no use to you. They're toxic. They're just bringing down your life. They're bringing down your emotional state. They're bringing down your energy, bringing down your mood, bringing down your enthusiasm. And why? Because for most people, if you're excelling and succeeding and moving toward your goals, and they're not, you're making them feel bad. So they try to tear you down to make themselves feel better because you're going to be back at their level again. So when you're operating at a higher vibrational level than other people, they want to tear you down because you're making them feel bad. No one wants to feel bad. And these can be family members, it could be friends. Like you'd be amazed at the people who will actually tear you down. You'd be amazed. And all supposedly for your own sake. Most of them it's not. It's for their sake. Because unfortunately, the vast majority of humans will do what it takes to survive themselves, to help themselves. That's the unfortunate reality. So it's very important for you to make sure that you focus on what you do and what you need. And as I've said many times, not care what other people think. Like don't react and act and don't behave. And don't make decisions all based on what other people think or what they say you should do. You need to do everything based on what you want to do. Take advice from people who you respect, who you respect because of the path that they've led, the path they've walked. They lead a good life. They show good example. They're good role models. These are people worth listening to because they've already done it or they're in the process of doing it. So you can learn from them. And you will notice that people who are successful do not consume negativity. They do not consume mainstream media. They don't do these things. It's about consuming information, education that will serve you. So like books, magazines, online websites, audiobooks, podcasts, actual physical books, all these different things. These are exactly what you need to be focused on consuming. So you should have a list of like books, audiobooks, podcasts that you want to listen to that uplift you, and then work your way through them. And every opportunity you get, it's like for me, anyone who follows me will know I have earphones on nearly all the time, a headset on nearly all the time, because whether I'm walking the dog, going somewhere, driving, cooking, baking, pottering around, doing stuff that I don't have to focus on, do my training sessions, I'm always listening to something because I need to consume positivity. We need to counteract the negativity that's rampant in the world. And has been rampant for a long time, for many decades, but has increased in it, how much is being ramped up recently. We need to focus on, again, what we consume into our mind. So start consuming more of these things, like I said, podcasts and audiobooks, and also uplifting music is really good then as well. Certain songs or certain artists that I know if I listen to them, I feel more uplifted. So make sure you're putting the time into that. Allow yourself to be uplifted by, those who will uplift you. Same as people. Like I said, you need to eliminate those who don't serve you in life, who don't help and champion you in life, who don't raise your energy, who actually take down your energy. But what about the people that you can add, who actually add to it? Who can you add to your life that will actually add something to it? Because if we ever add people to our lives, there should be people who are adding something. We're making us feel better. We're making us feel more confident. have more belief in what we're trying to achieve, have more belief in the goals we're trying to achieve, help us move forward towards what it is our life vision is. These are the kind of people we need to spend our time with. These are the type of people that we need to, listen to, brainstorm with, use the sounding board, because they can relate and empathize to where you are. And if they've already got out of holes or turned their lives around or achieved great things, their opinions can be like gold because they know how things work. They know how to achieve things. They know how to get through things. Don't you think these are people you should be listening to instead of people who have done nothing, who tell you, oh, you shouldn't do that, it won't work out, or, giving you various reasons why you shouldn't do it. And they've never done anything with their life. Why would you listen to people like that? There's no meaning to it. There's no purpose to it. If they haven't done it, then what value can they give you? Especially if they're generally negative. Like some people cannot have an experience, but they have a great perspective because they just happen to have good perspective on such things. But that's few and far between. And usually, again, they have a good grip in various aspects of their life. But when we look at general people, there is no value to what they say. There's no value to what they add. So don't put weight on it. The most important thing I'm saying to you is don't put weight on what other people are saying to you because it's not good for you. Okay? Hope that's making sense. So be very mindful of what you're consuming. So from now on, commit to listening to better stuff that's better for your brain, better for your mind, that uplifts you, that makes you feel better, makes you feel happy. It's like if you're ever feeling lower down, like right now, if you're feeling lower down, turn on something that you like, turn on a song that you like, something that gets your energy boosted. That there's a few songs we all have that when it comes on, we just feel our soul lift. We feel our soul rejoice. And these kind of songs, go back to every time you need them. Every time you need to kind of fill your cup, go back to these songs and let them uplift you because that's what they're for and that's what you need to use them for. So like I have a couple of songs like that where if I feel low, a little down, if I listen to these particular songs, I'll feel uplifted. Also a certain type of music I listen to. And you have to be very careful with music because the lyrics often can be very negative while the melody can be beautiful. If the lyrics are very negative, then that's feeding your mind, that negativity. So it might sound beautiful, but the message isn't very beautiful. Now it can be factual, it can be true, you can relate it in many ways, that's all fine. But I'm talking about purely from what's good for your mindset. I'm not telling you to never ever consume a song that's got some negative lyrics because in reality, the vast majority of songs have more negative lyrics than positive lyrics. Because a lot of them are again people sharing their personal experiences of sadness and breakups and all kinds of stuff and loss. So, that's the way music is for the most part. But you need to be very conscious of what you're consuming. Be very careful of what you're consuming. And especially depending on what your frame of mind is. So if your frame of mind isn't in a good place, you need to make sure you're not listening to certain music. Instead, listen to other types that uplift you. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Make sure as well, any comments or questions or feedback you have on anything I'm saying throughout this show, make sure you let us know your comments and feedback and questions so we can address them. Because I want, again, this to be a very engaged show. I want it to be one that serves you and what gets shared. But I also want it to uplift you. And I also want you to feel that you've got a voice. You've got a voice. And this is why I want you that if you feel you can add value to the show, whether it be something you do, it could be a mini performance, musical, or poetry, or story, or jokes, where you got an announcement, like I said, about birthdays, weddings, anniversaries, any achievement that people have done, any upcoming events that would be useful and beneficial for people, let me know. Let's get it announced on. You can come on, or else I will do it. And if you'd like to discuss an issue that you've got that's holding you back, again, like mindset or exercise or nutrition or health or lifestyle management or any of these kind of areas, we could do literally like a live coaching session, like have a little conversation live and, help you. And in doing so, will help others. And that's how you can make a positive impact on other people as well. And that's something we all should be aiming for. How can we make a positive impact on other people and always be aiming to do so? Because we have that power. Everyone's got that power. It's just a case of doing it. How do you do it? So make use of that and get in contact with me about it. Because these are the kind of things I want to do. I want to make these things become part of the show. And that's why, I keep urging you to get in contact. Same as like, song requests, things like that, whatever will uplift you, because I want this show to uplift you by listening to it. I wanted to give you a few nuggets that educate you or hopefully inspire you. I want stories that are on it, or slots are on it, again, to raise your energy, raise your vibration, make you feel better within yourself. The one key thing, though, I must stress as always is information that I share on this, or if any guests share, the only way it'll work is if you implement. So implementation of knowledge and tips and so on is power, not the actual knowledge or tips themselves. There's far too much weight based on knowledge, but you have to put into action to get anywhere. Action's all that counts ever, in every area of your life. So it's important to get focused on that and get very clear on that fact, and to get out there and start acting more. Act on things, act on your impulse, act on what you want to achieve. Act on the steps you need to move your life forward to where it needs to get to. Action, action, action. That's what matters. Okay? And, the mindset's huge. I want you to get your body moving. I want you to get your body moving even first thing in the morning. When you wake up in the morning, you're not going to feel like you want to jump out of bed. No one does. Doesn't matter where you're at in life, where you are with yourself and how good you feel, but no one jumps out of bed. Some find it harder than others. Some don't want to get up. Some just don't want to get up because they're cozy, and others will just get out of bed. It varies, depends on the day, depends on weather, depends on everything. But what you need to do again is do what needs to be done, and just do it, and just get up and get on with it. Because how do you expect to move your life forward unless you get on with things and take action? Take action towards your goals each and every day. That's again the power you have. And that's why, exercise is so important. Exercise is literally like medicine for the mind. So if you're feeling very low, very down, just in a bad place, in a dark place, or you feel yourself starting to go there, exercise. Exercise is just so important. It makes such a difference to your life. Your energy, it gives you natural endorphin kick. It makes you feel much better. It is so important for you to, get exercise into your life. And I can't stress enough how beneficial it is to exercise in some capacity first thing in the morning. Even something for 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes. Moving around, jumping around, a bit of boogieing, a bit of dancing, a couple of push-ups, some squats, whatever it might be. Doing something that's movement. Exercise is medicine for the mind, as I said. It's not just about your body and your body shape, like so many people focus on. That's all people ever typically focus on. Benefits of body shape and fat loss and so on. It's far bigger than that. You need to get focused instead on how the role of exercise in how it affects your life as a whole, how it makes you feel better, how it uplifts you naturally. Like there is no one who can do a workout of some kind and not feel better after. Like it's literally just impossible. You will feel better always once you do some exercise. Like that's a guarantee. So it's important for you to make sure that you incorporate exercise into your lifestyle. Like I encourage you strongly to have a morning routine where you do some things that can uplift you, that stimulate your mind, stimulate your body, identifying things you're grateful for, a bit of meditation, stretching to loosen up your body after being tight all night lying in bed. I recommend exercise being part of this. Like for me, it's walking the dog in the morning. So I do that for about 30, 40 minutes. So I'm exercising my body that way. So I can do monumental things to my body shape or my athletic performance, but it still exercise and raises my vibration, my energy, my mood, and makes you feel better, and makes you feel more awake. So it's really important from that perspective. But look at your life and think, where can I add more exercise? Where can I add it? First thing in the morning, in the evening time, lunchtime, after work. And also get out of your head that it has to be 40 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, and so on. It doesn't. Tick the box. Some days it might literally be 2 or 3 minutes. Now you possibly could fit in more in that particular day, but the main thing is you fit something in. And this is where there's no excuses. Don't have excuses as to why you haven't got your exercise in. Get the exercise in. It's so important. I can't stress enough to you how important it is. Like exercise decides everything in terms of your mind, the way it works, stimulates your mind. As I said, it's medicine for your mind. So make sure you get your focus on that. And your health. Your health is your wealth. It's been a saying that's been said for so many times, but look at the world we live in. How many people are living healthy lives, like truly healthy lives? And there's a huge checklist of things that you need to be ticking the boxes for that lead optimally an optimal health life. So many different things, not just about food, not just about good exercise, everything to do with mindset, environmental factors, your routines. There's so many different things. How many boxes are you ticking? How many are left unticked? You need to get focused on how you can tick more. And again, it comes down to the decision. This is about you taking personal responsibility, because you can do that. No one's stopping you. You are the only person that's standing in your way from happiness, from success, from fulfillment, from feeling success in your life, all the good things. You're the only person that potentially can stop yourself. So this is why it's important for you to take responsibility for everything. I can't stress enough to you how important that is. Because too many people are happy to just play the blame game. Someone else's fault always. Everything is. Overweight, poor, not in the right job, not happy with the job, not happy in life in general, poor mindset, where they live, everything. You are who you are right now. This can change. And it can change fast. It can change even today, depending on what you're aiming for. But what matters is that you're doing something that's going to move you forward towards the life that you want, towards the life vision you want, towards the person you want to be, towards the experiences you want to have in life. You have that power. It just depends if you take that power. And again, I want to bring back the smile to help you to do that. Hence why it's called Bring Back the Smile. Because when you're smiling, you must feel happy. In terms of a genuine smile now, I don't mean fake smiles. When you're genuine smiling, you feel happy. When you feel happy, you feel uplifted. When you're uplifted, you feel you're more energetic. You feel more invincible. When you feel this way, you're operating a high vibration. When you operate a high vibration, anything's possible and fast. Hence why some people turn their lives around so fast. Like they're in one way 1 minute, and then in a very short period of time after, they're in a very different place. But what did it come down to? Action. They took action, they were focused, they got clear on what they wanted out of life, they got clear on what happiness truly meant to them, and they went out there and made it happen. And made it happen fast, not over a couple of decades, made it happen, some people even over days. And this is the power you have. But what you want is, again, every single day take steps in the right direction. Like I always stress to clients that it's about moving forward to what happiness is for you, moving forward to what success and fulfillment are to you. And the only way you can move forward is, again, decide what's the next step. Focus on what the next step is. That's all you should ever focus on. Because when you focus on the next step and you do it, then the next step again is what you focus on. And the more consistently you're focused on what's the next step, the more your mindset can completely shifts to be more accepting of where that will bring you and being happier with much less. Because again, that's the problem for people. People want too much. People expect too much. People are always looking for more. Never content, never satisfied. When ironically, now people have more than people ever had before. And so much more than so many people even have right now in the world. With still such a huge divide between developed and underdeveloped, which is just so wrong. Because there's no reason for it to be that way right now. When so many have so much and so many have so little. It's very easy to divide that, but that's a whole different story that maybe we might touch on sometime in some episode, but not for today's episode. So guys, the main take home from today's episode is, the question, what does happiness mean to you? What does happiness truly mean to you? It is all that matters. Please take time to identify what it is and get very clear on what happiness means to you. Journal about it, meditate on it, write things out about it, reflect on your life and identify times when you were truly happy, because there has to be sometimes, and kind of identify, why was that? What was going on in your life? Who was in your life? What made you feel so happy back then? But reflect and then, incorporate your lessons from that into the strategies that you put in place then for moving forward. Because like with anything in life and achieving anything in life, you have to have some kind of strategy. You have to have some kind of action steps outlined. And then it's a case, as I said, of taking the action steps. That's it, just taking the steps. So I'd ask yourself that question. That's like your homework right now and for this particular week. Let me know what your answer is. I'd love to know what they are. Contact me across any social media. You can message me on any of them or on my website or contact page on the website or via your media directly, any of their social media, but contact me and let me know your take homes. What were the top things you got from this episode? Let me know what you now believe and perceive happiness means to you. Let me know what your next steps are. And also, like I've said a few times, I want us to be engaged. Let me know questions you'd like me to answer. Let me know topics you'd like me to cover. Let me know feedback. Let me know comments on different things. Let me know if you'd like to come on and speak about a particular topic, your own situation, or other topics in general. This again is all focused about bringing back the smile. And we can all do this together. We can all play a role in bringing back the smile to people, because every single one of us has that power. Every single one of us has the power to positive impact another person. And not just one, but many people. But those people in turn can positively impact someone else if you manage to uplift them and give them that spark. This is where one person can turn into a couple of million very quickly if the right things are done and people are acting out the right attitude and are acting out the right intentions. We're humans. We need to support each other. We need to help uplift each other. We need to do all we can for humanity to make it a good place to be, a good group to be part of, and to make the world a better place, and also for future generations. We are the role models. Let's be the role models, and let's create a great world for these kids as they become adults. So that's it for this episode of Bringing Back the Smile. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it brought you some value. As I said, I'd love to know your top takeaways from it, the top things that you enjoyed about it, what you enjoyed about it, the questions you have, and suggestions, and so on. So please contact me or contact the station, and let's keep giving you as much value as possible. And if you'd like to come on and have a chat with me sometime about anything, or if you'd like to be a guest and be interviewed about an inspirational story you have, because I'd love to talk about inspirational stories or achievements with people, get in touch as well. All right, so that's it from me, Dave Sheahan, for Bringing Back the Smile on this particular episode. Remember, the only fear you should have in life is regret. So live in daily fear of regret and go out there and live fully and love life.